I confess. I confess, I didn't reckon with capitalism's ingeniousness in surviving. I didn't know there would be drugs to keep the sick system alive. War to keep the industries going. War to make people crazed with patriotism and fear so that they forget their misery. And religious fanatics promising the masses that Jesus will return. I know Jesus. He's not coming back. I was wrong in 1848, thinking capitalism was on its way out. My timing was a bit off. Perhaps by 200 years. But it will be transformed. All the present systems will be transformed, and people are not fools. I remember Tussie's friend, your President Lincoln, saying, "You can't fool all of the people all of the time. Their common sense, their instinct for decency and justice will bring them together." And please don't scoff. It has happened before. It can happen again on a much larger scale. And when it does, the rulers of society, with all their wealth, with all their armies, will be helpless to prevent it. Their servants will refuse to serve. Their soldiers will disobey orders. And yes, capitalism has achieved wonders unsurpassed in history, miracles of technology and science, but it is preparing its own death. Its voracious appetite for profit, more, creates a world of turmoil. It turns everything, art, literature, music, beauty itself, into commodities to be bought and sold. It turns human beings into commodities, and not just the factory worker, but the physicians, the scientists, the lawyers, the teachers, students, artists, poets, all must sell themselves to survive. And what will happen when all these people finally realize that they are all just workers, that they have a common enemy? They will join with others in order to fulfill themselves. And not just in their own country, because capitalism needs a world market, because its cry is free trade, because it needs to roam freely everywhere on the globe to make more profit, more, But in doing so, it unwittingly creates a world culture. Because people cross borders as never before in history, ideas cross borders. Something new is bound to come of this. When I was in Paris with Jenny in 1843, I was 25. And I wrote that in this new industrial system, people are estranged from their work because it is distasteful to them. I wrote that people are alienated from nature as machines, smoke, smells, noise invade their senses. Progress, it is called. I wrote that people are alienated from each other because everyone is set against everyone else, scrambling for survival. And I wrote that people are alienated from their own true selves, living lives that are not their own, living as they do not really want to live, so that a good life is possible only in dreams, in fantasies. But it does not have to be this way.